All right, welcome to today's episode of Your Daily Scrum. I'm professional Scrum trainer Ryan Ripley. With me is professional Scrum trainer Todd Miller. Todd, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. I just was, before we started recording, showing you a picture of a new pair of sneakers that I got. I'm excited about them.
Yeah, Todd's an ultra runner.
It's not, I don't know if I can classify an ultra walker.
Ultra walker.
That way. Yeah,
I like it.
better to say.
You gotta.
Yeah.
He's working on it. He's getting. He's the most. He's good at fitness. But what's this show? This show, Your Daily Scrum, what we're here to do, we're trying to help you with your Scrum questions, help you get better as a Scrum practitioner, help you go back with the answers you need to help your team, organizations, and customers do awesome things. And today we've got another question from one of our viewers. So by the way, if you leave a comment, where are we at? Where's the camera? Down somewhere in this space, somewhere in there. If you leave it below, guess what? We're probably going to answer it.
Yeah.
And so drop your questions. At least we'll answer it in the comments. We might make a video out of it. So let's fire this up. How should an organization treat Agile consultants? And Todd, can you give a little background on this?
Yeah. So I couldn't help but order this one a little bit higher because it's an interesting topic that I don't know that we really address or anybody talks about that much. One of our users said in a somewhat unrelated question, how should an organization treat the consultants? And they said context. Have you seen cases where organizations aren't treating consultants the same way as full-time employees in regards to an Agile environment?
Yeah, this one struck a chord with me when you were talking about this a little earlier. You know, we do a little prep. You know, people are like, oh, they just shoot from the hip. Most of the time, you're right. But sometimes we actually sit back and do a little preparation. This one reminded me of a story from my past where we had just finished a massive project, big implementation. And what was interesting was we used a lot of consultants. We had a lot of internal people. We had third-party vendors. And we got to the end and there was this big release celebration. The CEO threw a party and then I got a phone call. My boss had called me and said, hey, Ryan, none of the consultants can come to the party. None of them are allowed to act. They cannot eat the cake. And for some reason, this sat horribly with me. Right? It's like, wait a minute. They've worked hard right alongside us. We've treated them as Scrum Team members from day one. They've never been treated differently. They've always been appreciated. And then suddenly they can't have the cake. And I said, no, they're coming with. And so I brought them to the event. Just like Todd, I'm good at getting yelled at. I made sure our consultants got their piece of cake. I thanked them for their efforts. I made sure that they were recognized and that people were acknowledging their contribution as well. You know, they greatly appreciated that, but man, did I get yelled at by the VP later on. It was not a pretty sight.
Yeah, it's kind of remarkable that you would get yelled at for something like that. But, you know, I mean, I think you and I have been consultants at enough places at this point that that we've been treated in similar contexts, right?
Oh, like, yeah.
I know, have you been to the places where full-time employees have a non-discrete badge, but as a contractor, yours is like bright red or bright yellow? It's like stranger in the building. You're a contractor here. And to be honest with you, it still to this day makes me feel really uncomfortable if I'm treated that way.
You know, some of it, there's some legal stuff there. And so when you're listening to this, if you've got some questions, go talk to HR and legal. I think there's some good questions to ask. But in all honesty, when we go into places as consultants, we sign documents that say we acknowledge we're not employees. Yeah. And so all this extra stuff, like excluding you from the party or giving you a different badge or making you sit in a different area, it is all largely unnecessary.
Yeah.
Right. And it's very punitive. It's like, look, we believe in the Scrum values. Focus, openness, commitment, courage, and respect. Right? We think people should be respected in the workplace. We think that if we want the consultants to be committed to being a great teammate, they should be treated as a teammate, right? We should be open about the fact that, you know, we're all on this team. The focus should be on delivery, not on who's a more special type of employee than anyone else. And you know what? Sometimes it's going to take courage to actually expect people to be treated like people. And so now I will talk about the positive side of this, Todd. I have been on the other side of being a consultant where we were charging a lot of money for our time and people listened to us.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we would say something that the internal employees would say, but because we said it, it was actually given greater weight. And so we've been in situations.
Pulling on that right there. Yeah. Pulling on that right there. Isn't there like some kind of like, I don't know, there's like science backing that somewhere that is that like as an outside person coming in and giving your opinion, that people tend to listen to you a bit more. Because that same exact thing has happened to me, and this is all before, like, I get probably some of the people here are like, yeah, but you're a Scrum trainer and you wrote a book and blah, blah. Yeah, like this is well before that, right? Where I'm still a consultant getting paid, and I give an opinion that I just heard someone else give and backed them up on it. And they're like, oh yeah, that's what Todd said. I'm like, actually, this is what, Ben said. And so there must be some kind of scientific reason why our brains do that.
Yeah, I think there's something there. I think what it all boils down to, whether it's the good or the bad, let's just treat people how we want to be treated. The golden rule has lasted the test of time. It's the golden rule for a reason. Let's treat each other as we would expect to be treated. A contractor, internal employee, whichever. We're all people. We're all teammates. We're all trying to achieve the same goals. The more we can knock off of this stuff, the better. And so if I'm in a Scrum, let's bring it back to a Scrum Master. If I'm a Scrum Master on a team and there's, internal, external, I'm going to try to build a cohesive team of people who are working together for the same goal and mission. And I'm going to reduce the differences in treatment of different people as much as possible to reduce the friction, to reduce the conflict, and to make sure the focus is on the goal and not how one group's being treated over another.
And Ryan, imagine the transparency surrounding this issue you can bring in your service to the organization. It's not an easy thing to do, right? It's not an easy thing to call out to HR, to your boss, to their boss, to whoever, but it's necessary. Oh, look, my dog's visiting again.
There's Ginger.
Hi, Ginger. Yep, she's looking.
See, Ginger's a part of the video team too. She's treated no different.
Yeah, she saw the positive comments about her last time, and she just can't help but show up. Sorry for that deviation with the subject.
But anyways, it is one of those where if you bring transparency to this, it could be a tricky conversation. But if we can get that team working as a cohesive unit, if we can get everybody kind of on an equal footing, I think you're going to see better results. So great question. Thanks for leaving that on the video.
Yeah, thank you so much, and keep them coming. Our backlog is getting long, and we're trying to attack it. So thank you.
All right. We do love the questions. And so we're at that point of the show where it's time to take a look at the socials, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. We passed 1,000 subscribers this week.
Yes, we did. And look at the baby face that I have on this image, Ryan.
I know, man. The clean shaven. It's almost like we were out in the world and doing stuff.
Yeah. 1,000 subscribers.
So thanks for that. You must be sharing that show and letting other people know about your daily Scrum. We truly appreciate it. We love the fact that you're sharing, that you're learning, that you're leaving questions and comments and interacting with us. Please keep it up. Smash that like button. Make sure you hit that notification bell to make sure you know when we drop the newest episodes of Your Daily Scrum. Hit the socials for the latest of what's going on with us. And until next time, which will be tomorrow, have a great day.
See you.